Hello?
Marty! You're awake! Good!
Doc! Emmett, where are you?
I'm down at the expo. I snuck out early to avoid my pop. If he knew I was about to make a publicly scientific spectacle of myself, he'd hit the roof.
Why didn't you wake me up?
I tried to give you a nudge before I left, but you were practically comatose. How long has it been since you slept?
Aside from being knocked unconscious, I'm not really sure.
Anyway, I left you back at the lab to perform an important mission. On the table next to my law books, there's a device plugged into the wall.
I think I see it.
Is it glowing?
Yeah, is that good?
Good? It's fantastic! Glowing means my static accumulator is charged up and ready for action. Bring it down to the high school and we'll... Damn!
What?
It's Edna!
But... Okay, Emmett, one static accumulator coming up. Jeez, Doc, watch out, you almost ran me over.
Sorry about that, Martin. This vehicle is sometimes difficult to control.
Yeah. Hey, are you okay? After that argument about Emmett last night...
I'm fine. Thank you for asking.
So, how are the time circuits?
Still broken. I've got a few ideas, but I'm occupied with other problems today. So is that what I'm destined to build for the expo?
Yeah, it's a static accumulator. Emmett spent all night building it. Turned out he didn't really need to see Frankenstein after all. He just needed a little push. And some lightning.
Fascinating. I also had an epiphany last night.
Doc?
I realized that it wasn't Edna that made my life miserable.
Doc!
It was science.
You can't give up science. You love science.
Correction. My younger self loves science. But if Emmett doesn't go through with a demonstration at the expo, his dreams of being a scientist will dim just enough for Edna to step back into his life and steer him down another path.
Another path? What other path?
I don't know. Architecture, automobile repair, taxidermy. Maybe I'll even pursue a life in law like my father always wanted. As long as Emmett steers clear of science, Edna and I will be free to be happy together.
You can't want Emmett back with Edna. She used you to turn Hill Valley into a police state.
She used my science to turn Hill Valley into a police state. But if I don't become a scientist, she'll never get the chance to vent her crazier ambitions.
Doc, I'm begging you. You haven't thought this through.
Haven't I? I guess we'll both find out. One thing's for sure. Emmett Brown's life will be a whole lot less complicated without a time machine in it.
No! Ah! What the hell? Where'd it go? Oh, come on. Here, little static thingy. I can't reach it. Gotcha!
Future is coming today. There's a shiny new tomorrow on the way. A day of invention is at hand. It's a mystic, futuristic wonderland. Just around the bend, my friend, you'll see a dream or two. If you care to dream and dare to dream, your dreams can all come true.
miracle
world of
food from the
wonders wander on
swampland.
display.
Get your
Because
algae
the
cake.
future is coming today.
Not bad, eh? Not bad at all, but I thought you fired her.
I found a loophole.
What kind of loophole?
Just a loophole. You're not the only one who's allowed to have secrets, you know.
All right.
Say, don't you have to get that whatchamacallit to Emmett Brown's booth?
Huh? Oh, yeah, right.
Because the future is coming. It's almost here now. The future is coming. It's getting clear now. The future is coming today.
Hey, Artie,
What do you think? Quite a setup, huh?
the expo? Sure, but I was wondering. You haven't seen Emmett Brown, have you?
Isn't he at his booth? It's the tall one over there.
You haven't seen Emmett Brown, have you?
Isn't he at his booth? It's the tall one over there.
Come on, you can tell me. How did you manage to get Trixie her job back? I thought her being Canadian was a deal breaker.
If something's really important to you, you find a way. You ought to know that.
See you around. How about an algae cake?
Sure thing, mister.
Wait a minute. You're the guy that makes the algae cakes? But I thought you couldn't stand them.
Hey, you're the guy that tried to pick up on my Eunice.
Oh, for the love of...
No algae cakes for you, Buster.
How about an algae cake?
One algae cake coming right ahead. Hey, wait a minute. It's you. Forget it, mister.
Enlightenment awaits you under
Excuse me, Mr...
Dudo, Jacques Dudo, at your service.
Could I get a ride in that bathysphere?
Certainement, if you've got the ticket.
Jacques Duteau, famous diver. So you're some kind of celebrity?
I do not like to brag, but I have a small following, yeah.
I guess people are always bugging you for autographs, huh? Asking you to tell them stories about your adventures and stuff.
It gets a bit old, but I can always retreat to the depths. The fish are much less demanding.
See you around. Hey, Artie. See you around. Insert ticket to enter.
And here he comes, right on cue. No doubt he'll try to talk you out of it, Detective, but you mustn't let your resolution waver.
Hello, Callahan.
What's going on here?
Well, Miss Strickland here seems to think,
You should step aside and let the officer do his duty. Now.
Wait a minute, that's Emmett's levitator up there.
Oh, don't be so modest. I'd say you deserve at least half the credit. It was you who tricked poor Emmett into breaking up with me. It was you who manipulated him into dropping my project in favor of this clear hazard to public safety.
It was my plan to get him back to inventing what he should be inventing. What's your point?
Oh, I think you know exactly what my point is. Emmett's invention isn't going to work, is it? At least not the way poor Emmett thinks it is.
how do you know this?
I had a very interesting chat with Carl Sagan last night. I found out who Harry Callahan really is, and where he comes from.
Is there something you want to tell me, Harry?
Why don't you call him by his real name? Yakov Smirnov.
Thanks a lot, Doc.
An anarchist! A foreign agitator bent on sowing chaos and destruction in the Hill Valley Expo!
Annie, you don't believe any of this bullshit, do you?
Sorry, Yakov, but I really don't have a choice.
Very good. And now, arrest this subversive.
Come here. Look, here's the thing. I happen to believe this dame's got a screw loose, but she's been getting some clout in town ever since that business with Kid Tannen.
But Emmett's gotta fly that electrokinetic levitator at this demo. His whole future depends on it.
And my future depends on making sure he doesn't. The chief reads her column religiously. Well, if I don't do what she says, she's gonna start a campaign to have certain tainted officers removed from the force.
Isn't there anything I can do?
Not unless you've got some dirt on Edna. Something that'll discredit her in the eyes of the law. Well?
I'll dig something up.
You do that. In the meantime, you and young Mr. Brown better... where is he anyway?
Wait, you haven't seen him?
Emmett? Has this foreign radical done something to my Emmett?
Maybe you should find him.
Oh, you're letting him go? This radical subversive? Just like that?
Okay, so I gotta find Emmett. And do something about Edna. Hi, Trixie.
That's Techne to you, kiddo.
Right. Congratulations on getting the old job back.
Thanks. Justice triumphs in the end, you know? Now what can I do you for?
So, which exhibits do you recommend?
The most popular attractions are the Glass House, the Future Furnishings, and of course, Enlightenment Under the Sea. You know who that is under the diving helmet? That's Jacques Cousteau himself. Of course, you need to get tickets if you want to see the main attractions.
How much are tickets?
Aw, put your money away. Here, we're kind of like family now, you know?
Thanks. You seen Emmett around? I'm kind of worried that he's not at his booth.
Let me think. Yeah, he wandered down that way a little while ago. He was talking real intense with another guy.
Older guy? Looked a lot like Emmett in the face?
Yeah, uncle or something?
Or something. Look, Emmett's demonstration has hit a snag or two. Can you delay his act for a while? Let someone else go before him?
Sorry, I don't set the roster, and they won't let me change it. I can drag my feet a little, but if your friend's not ready to go on pretty soon, we might have to skip his act. I mean, demonstration.
But you can't!
Hey, it's just a science demo. It ain't a matter of life and death.
What time is Emmett supposed to go on?
Let's see, 8 kilobeats past 50. We're on metric time here at the Hill Valley Expo.
Edna Strickland is trying to get Emmett's booth shut down.
That dame don't know how to mind her own business, does she?
Is there anything you can do to get Emmett's booth open again?
I wish there was, but I'm just a muse. All we can do is inspire people.
Okay, you're a muse. Can you inspire me an idea?
I'll try. Well?
Maybe it doesn't take effect right away. Artie told me how you managed to get your old job back.
He did? But it was supposed to be a secret.
There's no secrets between us. He couldn't resist telling such a good story.
Yeah?
Still, I'd like to hear it again, from your point of view.
He didn't tell you anything.
Come on, Trixie. I'm dying to know how you got the job back.
You won't hear it from me. I don't talk out of turn.
Thanks.
Happy to help.
A potted plant? What's this got to do with law enforcement? A potted plant? What's this got to do with law enforcement? It's a bug.
No, a plant. But it's got a wire recorder hidden inside, see? If we could have got one of these into Tannen's speakeasy, and if he's the kind of guy who talks to plants, we could have busted him a lot earlier. Hey, don't walk off with the recording plant. It's the only one I got. Now can you...
Are you ready for a picture radio? Wonder if that's anything like MTV.
Act casual. He's coming.
Hey, Danny, could I have a word with you?
Comrade Smirnov, come to turn yourself in?
In private?
With pleasure.
You've got to let Emmett demonstrate his invention. His whole future depends on it.
Well, I'd love to, kid, but Miss Strickland thinks it's dangerous. And unless you've got something on her, her word is pretty much law.
Any idea where Emmett is?
Well, he was working over by his booth, but by the time Edna got done haranguing me, he was gone. I hope he comes back soon so we can get this mess cleared up.
What's a newly promoted detective like you doing hanging out at a science expo anyway?
Are you kidding me? This is a great assignment. I get to sit around all day playing with nifty new crime-fighting gadgets, like this.
What does that do?
Hell if I know.
Since when does anyone in Hill Valley listen to what Edna has to say?
Ever since she helped take down Kid Tannen, she's had the mayor and the city council eating out of her hand. I'd be an idiot to ignore her, especially with my, alcohol-heavy background. Boy, I wish I could catch her jaywalking or something. I'd throw the book at her. Yeah, but you never catch a dame like that breaking the law, darn it.
You haven't seen Carl Sagan around here, have you?
Nah.
Isn't he still a wanted man?
Nah. All those arson charges got dropped weeks ago. Judge Brown said there wasn't enough evidence for a trial.
Thanks. I'll be back.
Oh, I hope so. You gotta get this albatross off my neck.
Well, did you put the screws to him? Did he confess? Now, where were we?
I think that's supposed to be a clock.
Welcome to the world of tomorrow, where a man's home is truly his castle. Here, gratification is just always a push of a button away.
This plant doesn't belong here. There's nothing futuristic about it. A fully equipped home entertainment center. So, where's the ColecoVision? What?
Greetings again, mortals! This is Techne, Muse of Progress. Hoping you're all having a swell time taking in all the exhibits. Don't forget, you can purchase tickets to our main attractions right here at the information booth. Greetings, forward thinkers of Hill Valley.
Okay, call me a snoop.
Welcome to the phone booth of the future, made with Atlas glass. Atlas, unbreakable and soundproof. Our phone is hands-free, so you can enjoy a sandwich or a cigarette while chatting with friends in perfect privacy. Would you like to place a call?
Yes, I'd like to talk to...
Unfortunately, this phone booth only accepts incoming calls.
Welcome to the world of tomorrow, where a man's home is truly his castle. Here, gratification is just always a push of a button away. In the house of the future, fresh fruit baskets will be replenished daily by fleets of fruit-bearing helicopters.
Ah, it's wax.
In the house of the future, phone conversations will be completed in the privacy of the personal phone helmet.
Hey!
Please recite the phone number you wish to dial, or say hang up to terminate your phone helmet experience.
Klondike 4253.
Hill Valley Expo, where the future is coming today. This is Techni Muse of Progress. To whom am I speaking?
This is Carl Sagan.
Ooh, the mysterious Mr. Sagan. What do you want?
Can you put Edna Strickland on the phone for me?
Sure thing, Mr. Sagan. Hey, Strickland! Somebody actually wants to talk to ya.
Mr. Sagan, I didn't expect to hear from you again till after the expo.
You didn't?
Yes, wasn't that part of our plan?
Yes, our plan. About that plan. Regarding, you know what?
You know what?
The little matter we were whispering about yesterday.
Oh, that! As a matter of fact, I'm glad you brought it up. I was thinking, wouldn't it be a good idea to pin it all on Yakov Smirnov?
Pin what on him exactly?
You know, it! Oh, I get it. You're still sore about going to jail. That was the dog's fault. If he hadn't come galumping up to me right after I started the fire, I could have gotten clean away, and I never would have had to divert suspicion to you.
She's the speakeasy arsonist.
Carl, is somebody with you?
No, it's just you and me. You know, I don't think I ever asked you why you burned down all those speakeasies.
Why? Because no one else was doing anything about them. Every night they'd open up their doors serving illegal drinks and loose women, flaunting their depravity to the world, and the authorities did nothing. So I did what any right-thinking, rock-willed woman would do. I took action. Oh, and such a gorgeous action it was, too. The fires were so beautiful. The alcohol made them go up in such pretty blue flames. Where was I?
You were explaining why you burned down the speakeasies.
Yes. Did you find my answer to your liking?
It was very revealing. Hang up.
What?
Conversation terminated.
Jeez, Edna was always a loon. I hope that confession's good enough for Parker.
Next up on our roster, a man who saw the possibilities in pond scum. Welcome, Ernest Philpott!
Thanks, Trixie, Technique. I'm truly honored to be here today among all you pointy-headed type people. Like the lady said, I labor in the field of pond scum. Algae, ladies and gentlemen, is a mysterious and little-known biological entity.
I don't think I ever asked you why you burned down all those speakeasies.
I think a lot of people are going to be interested in that answer.
Of this noble vegetable, and I am here to present my discoveries to a disbelieving world. Algae cakes, ladies and gentlemen.
Well,
Danny, can I talk to Edna for a minute?
Be my guest. I'd like a couple minutes of quiet.
What's this about?
What'd you do with Emmett, Edna?
What are you talking about? You're the one who's trying to ruin his life.
Believe it or not, I'm the one trying to save him.
From what?
From you, mostly. You really don't know where Emmett is?
I haven't the foggiest. If he's smart, he's run far away from whatever dangerous shenanigans you talked him into perpetrating today.
Shenanigans? Why are you still involved in Emmett's life? I thought you broke up with him.
I did, but then your friend, Mr. Sagan, told me about your scheme to interfere with our romance. Not a very nice thing to do, Comrade Smirnov.
You don't really think Emmett's gonna want you back after you crushed his heart and tried to stop his demonstration at the expo, do you?
Not at first, no. But eventually he'll realize I've got his best interests at heart, and he'll come running back to me like one of those dogs he loves so much.
But you hate dogs.
Yes, ironic, isn't it?
Why'd you go and get Emmett's invention sealed up like that?
I had no choice. Once Mr. Sagan told me about your attempts to radicalize my poor Emmett, I knew I had to stop him from going through with your dangerous invention.
But it's his invention, and it's not dangerous. Okay, maybe it's a little dangerous, but only to him.
That's for the authorities to decide.
Any chance you could talk Parker into letting Emmett go ahead with his demonstration?
None whatsoever. And as long as I'm here, that contraption of yours is grounded.
Have you seen Mr. Sagan around here anywhere?
No, and I wouldn't tell you if I had. He's more than a little scared of your anarchistic tendencies.
Did you see? Trixie Trotter got her old job back.
Oh, I know! I tried to have it out with Arthur McFly, but he refuses to explain himself. Apparently, he discovered some sort of loophole that allows that Canadian to retain her position. Well, the Ladies' Decency Society shall hear about this. Make no mistake.
Why's Parker so willing to do your bidding?
Well, the good detective knows that he owes his current rise through the ranks to my reporting on his behalf.
Oh.
He also knows that I could just as easily pen an exposé about his previous nights of drunken debauchery and evidence tampering.
You're blackmailing him?
Reporters don't blackmail, Mr. Smirnoff. We look out for the public interest.
I know your deep, dark secret.
Secret? What secret?
Come on, Edna, confess. You're the speakeasy arsonist.
I refuse to even dignify that accusation with a response. Huh!
Okay, this is pointless. I've got to find Emmett.
Stay away from him, you anarchist hooligan.
Thank you, Ernest. Do be sure to drop by his booth and sample an algae cake. I have, and it was very interesting. I will be back later to highlight another of our fine exhibitors. See you soon.
Shh, he's approaching.
Hey, Danny.
Do you mind, comrade? We're busy trying to protect the expo from the likes of you.
This'll only take a minute.
Our plant recorder! It's not a good idea to steal police property, you know.
Listen.
You know, I don't think I ever asked you why you burned down all those speakeasies.
Why? Because no one else was doing anything about them.
Detective Parker! Surely you're not going to believe this crudely manufactured forgery of a recording.
I'm not sure what to believe, ma'am. But based on this crudely manufactured forgery, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to come down to the station to answer a few questions about your whereabouts on the night of the speakeasy fires.
Oh, very well. Heavens, what's that?
You know, one of these days I should really stop falling for that.
Hey, does this mean that the barricades can come down from Emmett's booth? Let's take that as a yes. Emmett's gotta be around here somewhere.
Enlightenment awaits you under...
Mr. Duteau?
Oui?
I'm looking for a friend of mine, Emmett Brown. Tall young guy, reddish-brown hair.
A distracted look?
That's him. Any idea where he went?
He just passed by here with an older gentleman. I think they were headed into the House of Glass.
Great, thanks. Mr. Duteau?
Oui?
Here's my ticket. Give me a ride in that thing.
Thank you, monsieur. I hope you will find your trip to the bottom of the sea less delightful. Well?
Heavy.
Monsieur has a way with words.
Hey! Emmett, come out of there. Don't listen to him. Perfect.
Welcome to the Atlas House of Glass, the future of domestic life.
Okay, Emmett, let's get you out of here. Emmett! Emmett, don't listen to him. He's crazy.
I'm still not sure about this business proposal, Mr. Sagan.
Let me explain it again.
Atlas glass, unbreakable and soundproof.
Soundproof glass. Great.
Our living space can be configured to meet the needs of any family. Need a private study? Simply slide the walls in, or slide them out again to create a spacious banquet hall.
Something's blocking it. Emmett? Oh, where'd you take him now, Doc?
The next exhibitor on our list is Officer Danny Parker of the Hill Valley Police Force. Officer Parker is going to demonstrate a few of the many marvelous tools that our boys in blue will soon have at their disposal. The criminal element has truly met his match today. Officer Parker? It seems our next exhibitor is unavoidably detained, but I'm sure his presentation would have been both enlightening and exciting. How about a round of applause just for the heck of it?
Excuse me, sir. I'm looking for a tall, thin, older gentleman. He might have been with a tall, thin, younger gentleman.
I know just who you're talking about. They just left not a minute ago. If you hurry, you might catch them.
I know you're in there, Doc.
Doc? Yes, I am a doctor of marine biology, but I fail to understand what you're...
Quit fooling around, Doc. What have you done with
Stop!
Emmett?
Help! I'm being attacked!
Harry! What are you doing? You can't assault the exhibitors!
You don't understand. He's kidnapped Emmett.
The boy's obviously confusing.
I'll say he is.
You want I should toss him out on his ear?
That won't be necessary. Do you know who that is? That's Jacques Duteau of the Oceanic Institute.
No, it's not. It's...
Please, keep it down. The Expo went through a lot of trouble and expense to secure Professor Duteau. We can't afford to antagonize him.
But...
If you've got a complaint against him, we can straighten it out after the show. But if you make another scene like that, I'm afraid I'm gonna have you expelled from the hall.
Professor Duteau, huh?
At your service.
What have you done with the real Professor Duteau?
I'm not sure I like your insinuations.
I'm not sure I like you kidnapping Emmett.
Perhaps I should call the authorities and have you removed from the hall.
You're a cold-blooded guy, Duteau.
C'est la vie.
Take off your helmet.
I prefer to leave it on. The inland air is difficult on my sinuses.
Where'd you stash Emmett? In the diving bell?
It's called a bathysphere.
Aha! So Emmett is in the bathysphere.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I think I'm gonna take a closer look at that bathysphere.
Not without a ticket, I'm afraid, sir.
Hey! Is this guy trying to bum a free ride?
No.
See that you don't. Feels good to be on the right side of the law.
You're not gonna get away with this, you know.
As they say in my country, que sera, sera.
Here's my ticket. I want to see inside that bathysphere.
I don't think so.
What do you mean? I've got a ticket. You have to honor my ticket.
It's the wrong kind of ticket. Sorry.
Oh, give me a break. How about an algae cake?
One algae cake coming right ahead. Hey, wait a minute. It's you! Forget it, mister.
Hey, Artie. That's Carl Sagan in the deep-sea diving suit, and he's holding Emmett captive in the bathysphere.
You're making a pretty serious allegation, mister. I'll have to look into it. Right after the show.
This ticket should get me into any exhibit on the floor, right?
Sure, that's a P ticket.
Well, the guy at the aquarium is refusing to honor it.
There must be some mistake. Come on, let's straighten this out. Professor Duteau, this young man claims you refused to take his ticket.
Not at all. I am only too happy to take his ticket. Please, climb the ladder, and I will raise the bathysphere. Mon Dieu! What is the matter? The gears, they must have become stuck. I am afraid I cannot raise the bathysphere at this moment.
What a shame.
Yes, it is. Well, I will work on the problem. Perhaps if you come back later. Come down, please. The bathysphere exhibit is currently... Step back! You're clipping the hose!
What does it matter if there's nobody in the bathysphere?
It's very bad form.
Oh, sorry.
Hiya, folks. It's me, Techni, Muse of Progress, gracing you once again with my presence. And speaking of presents, what better gift could Hill Valley offer the world than this magnificent science and technology exhibit? Hey, folks? If you haven't done so already, I urge each and every one of you to take a peek at Furnishings of the Future, right here in our main hall. Tickets are available from me, Techni, at our information desk.
It's an old nautical superstition. A crimped horse means imminent doom.
It does if there's somebody inside the bathysphere, but I thought you said there wasn't anybody in the bathysphere.
There's not.
Can't you see he's messing with us? There's nothing wrong with those gears.
Monsieur Dutot is doing his best to fix the exhibit. Hovering over him like that doesn't help the situation any.
Step off the hose!
Raise the bathysphere, Doc.
I command you uncrimp that hose!
Funny, you'd think it was you who was running out of air, not the guy in the bathysphere.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's as if you two were connected somehow.
Step off the hose!
Raise the bathysphere, Doc.
I won't do it!
Then neither will I.
Sometimes the gears, they have become unstuck.
There, see? It was just a malfunction after all.
Let's get you out of there.
Emmett Brown? Then it was true. Hey, you.
Hey, he just took that guy's wallet. I think he took his wallet.
Oh, remind me not to become an oceanographer. I guess I must have a touch of claustrophobia. Never should have gone in there.
Well, we've all got problems. Now, you'd better get back to your booth
Funny
before...
thing is, I don't even remember going in there. Last thing I recall, I was in the glass house talking to Carl Sagan. Did you know he's really a scientist?
I'd heard. What did he say to you?
Oh, he had some sort of spur-of-the-moment business proposition. It was all very rush. I never got the details. It would have meant leaving before the expo was over, so I told him that... Say, where'd he go? Do you know?
Carl Sagan? He had to leave. One of his experiments blew up on him.
No, I know how that is.
Greetings and salutations to all our honored guests. I am Techni, Muse of Progress, and it is my pleasant task once again to highlight one of the great minds who was hard at work building a better tomorrow.
I think that's me. I'm next on the roster.
But are you ready?
No, I don't have a choice. Did you bring the static accumulator?
Oh, right. Here you go.
Great. Come on, let's get up there.
He has been hard at work dreaming up gizmos and banging them together in his garage. And who knows? One of this kid's gizmos just might take off and change the life of everybody in town. Could it be the very thing he's brought to share with us today? It wouldn't be the first time the world was changed by a kid barely out of
That ought to do it. Are the block bearings all in the raised position?
When he wrote his
Block bearings, block bearings. Raise position, check.
Then it looks like all systems are go. Wish me luck.
So hold your Snickers.
Don't have to.
Prepare to be wowed. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Emmett Brown.
Objection! Objection, Your Honor! I hereby demand that the scientific demonstration of one Emmett Lathrop Brown be terminated and forfeit by reason of insanity. I declare him to be in contempt of me, his father. Where is he? Hand him over this instant! You can't hide from justice! You don't think you can shelter him?
Come on, Mr. Judge, sir. You're kind of making a scene here.
Wrong. I am stopping my son from making a scene here.
Don't antagonize him.
Well, if you're not going to say anything...
So he is up there with you?
Thanks a lot.
Son, I order you to come down from there this second. I want to speak to my son.
Emmett's not ready to talk to you, directly.
Oh, God. I suppose you're his mouthpiece?
I guess so, yeah. You can't talk him out of it. His mind is made up.
So, if talking won't work, there's always threshing.
Can't you two have it out later?
You mean after he's gone through with this ridiculous stunt?
Yeah?
No!
If I can say so, sir, the problem is you're coming on too strong. You intimidate him.
I don't intimidate him enough. That's the problem.
Stay right there.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm counting to 4.
Emmett.
I'm not talking to him. There's no point.
So, what's your plan?
I just stand here like this indefinitely. After a few centuries, the process of petrification will set in, and that'll be that.
Okay, that is a plan. Maybe he'll give you a fair chance to explain yourself. He is a judge, after all.
Yes, a judge who's already passed sentence. He won't listen to me. He never has.
I'll be right back.
So, is your client prepared to make a statement?
He says it's no use talking to you. You never listen?
That only shows how pig-headed he is. Of course I'll listen. If he can justify his craziness, I'll be only too happy to indulge it.
Stay right there.
You dare to disobey...
Emmett.
I'm not talking to him. There's no point.
You heard him. He said he'll listen to you.
Well...
At least give it a shot.
Father?
Son?
You've never understood the first thing about me. All you want to do is step on me, squelch my natural instincts. You don't know what it's like to be young. You don't know what it's like to have dreams, to have ambitions so great and so powerful that they've got a life of their own. And it's all you can do to hang on for dear life while they gallop on where they must. This is America, Pop. And in America, a person doesn't have to do what his father did. Isn't that why you came to America? To live where there wouldn't be so many rules? Well, we talked. Are you happy?
Please, you gotta get out of Emmett's way.
I have yet to hear a compelling or even coherent reason why.
Look, Your Honor, you don't see it, but there's an awful lot riding on Emmett's demonstration.
All the more reason why I've got to put a stop to it. Look me in the eyes, young man. I expect you know my son pretty well by now. Do you seriously think his exhibition is going to be a success?
Sure. Sure it will.
Ha! You know as well as I how it'll end. Disaster!
Maybe, maybe not, but even if it does, I mean, isn't Emmett entitled to make a few mistakes?
Emmett has exceeded his quota for one lifetime. It's my job as his father to see to it there are no more mistakes.
Emmett's just...
stubborn, willful, single-minded, incorrigible, and obsessed.
Okay, but if you look at it from the right angle, those traits are kinda good.
That may be your angle, Sonny, but I'm not so sure it's the right one. Make no mistake, those are traits that lead to trouble. He gets them from his mother.
Emmett's just trying to make a name for himself. Maybe things were different when you were a kid, but nowadays you gotta take chances.
What do you know about taking chances? Try moving to a strange country where you don't speak the language with only $2 to your name.
You?
You bet your socks, me! And I made out all right, too.
How'd your dad feel about it at the time?
Papa? He was fit to be tied. He called me a disobedient little...
So your father didn't approve of you coming to America?
Well, Papa never really understood the younger generation. He came around a bit in the end, but by then it was too late to. Tell him I'll listen to him. I want to listen to him. If he wants to talk.
Emmett?
Here to play peacemaker again, Pollyanna?
Okay, so he's got a strong personality.
Strong personality. Lord save us from strong fathers. Why couldn't I have been born to a nice, wimpy milquetoast?
Yeah, well, that's no picnic either. The important thing is, fathers can change.
Says you.
He says you get your stubbornness from your mother.
Well, that's the limit. He's not satisfied with insulting me. He's got to drag my mother through the dirt, too. Mother isn't at all like me. She's gentle and sweet and endlessly patient. If anything, I'm more like... Oh, skip it.
You were starting to say that you're like...
Skip it.
Can it be that you and your dad?
No. Next subject.
Emmett, stop being a dope. You've got your pride, okay, I get it. And so does he, but what's the harm in trying to make peace with the guy? He's your family, and family's important. Sometimes it's, well, even more important than we realize.
May I come up?
So, you think my new invention is a disaster waiting to happen?
Yes, I do. And I'm here to say, if any son of mine is going to make of himself a public disaster, I insist on being there to support him.
Pop! You're gonna change your tune once you see this baby go airborne. You see, the force field generated by the static accumulator... Marty, give Trixie the signal. We're ready for liftoff.
Oh, good. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for bearing with us through that unavoidable delay. And now the Hill Valley Expo is pleased as punch to present Mr. Emmett Brown and his electrokinetic levitator.
Hey, stop! Get back here!
Are you okay?
I thought I could change her. Things could be different.
Forget about it. Come on. We gotta find a way to stop her before...
No, don't come any closer.
Doc!
Go away!
But...
Move! Marty!
Oh my God! Doc! Say something.
Chromium, lithium, potassium, iridium, titanium, ruthenium.
I'll get help.
Newspaper.
What? You mean... Gonna get you to a hospital, Doc. You're gonna be okay.
Yes. Oh, I think I am going to be okay, Marty.
No, come on, Doc. Doc, don't do this. Don't go.